Should I put
Okay, I'm not officially here because I'm on my phone. I'm waiting for the system to fully come up. This is bogus.
I have a I spy with my little eye is Shelly that hoped I rescheduled for tomorrow.
No.
Y'all, she asked me earlier. She was like, "Oh no," she told me earlier. She was like, "Oh, we have to push it to tomorrow." It's like, well, somebody wants the day off today.
It's
Oh,
not that
shit.
I wanted the day off, as I had some things that I needed to take care of before the show.
Did you get them taken care
Oh yeah, it got taken
of?
care of.
Okay.
Hence, I'm running slightly behind.
What the fuck?
What up?
What up? What
Hi.
up? What up?
All right, man.
All
Look,
right, man.
let's hit the intros.
Now I'm greased up.
Oh my god.
Now I'm
Welcome
greased
back
up.
to another episode of Life with G podcast. I can already tell this is going to be a fun one. It's your girl G, the Puerto Rican podcast princess, your favorite baby mama in the building. And we're going to start it off with Miss Shelly Shell.
What's up, y'all? It's Shelly Shell, your favorite podcast vixen, the one with the beauty and the brains that'll keep you wishing.
Ow, ow. And we have JR.
What's happening? It's your boy JR. Lips out here glossed up. You know what I'm saying? Like chicken grease.
Wow. Why is my cat always, it's like,
Pause.
my cat.
Pause.
It's Tinkerbell.
Tinkling. Whoa.
I have
They got medication for that.
I mean, it's a little bit better than burn. Okay, what's better, tingling or burning?
Tinkling. Tinkling sensation.
Okay.
Tonight we're going to talk about I had a topic planned out, but now I don't know. We just gonna go with the flow today, huh?
Did
I miss this? Yes, yeah. I absolutely missed doing this. This is a lot of fun. We missed JR. People weren't sure if you were coming back, but I told them
I didn't go anywhere. I don't know why they be thinking I went somewhere. I never went anywhere.
Yo, speaking of not going anywhere, JR, I have to ask a question that G brought up when she and I filmed last. Did you hear about these rumors in the streets about me and G and about why I left?
Oh, those. I thought you was talking about when I was selling stuff for a couple. Anywho,
wait, hold up. Now, don't get me in. Wait, what's the other rumor? What's the street saying? I want to know.
No, they thought I was out here finger popping for 50 cents. Like, that ain't it. That didn't happen.
What does finger popping mean?
Don't if you don't know, you don't know, G. Don't even. I'm just saying they thought I was out here. They thought G kicked me off the pod for me to go out there and sell myself for 50 cents. So that's not what happened. That didn't happen.
He did not get kicked off the podcast. Sometimes, you just gotta take a little breaky breaks.
Go back to this. I heard. Well, no, I didn't hear anything because I'm in the mix.
He didn't even watch our episode, Shelly.
Wow.
Yes,
and he
yes, I did. It dropped Tuesday. Thank you very much. And yes, I did. But that's not the point.
All her videos dropped Tuesday, so that means nothing. What was something we talked about?
Oh. Pop quiz. Y'all drop it in the comments too. He said, "Oh, if I know JR, JR probably stopped listening the moment he heard how terrible the audio quality was."
That's not always false.
I'm not worthy listening to poor audio.
That's not what I said.
He won't even listen to himself if it's bad audio.
Well, who really listens to JR, regardless of audio or not?
Thank you. That's what I be telling people. That's why people be still making mistakes, because they don't listen to me. Shelly, don't you give me that. See, Shelly, you give me that disgusting face like we don't even hear you. Stop it. Stop it.
We do miss the banter. Of course we miss JR. We're happy to have him back. The rumors were just that me and Shelly weren't friends. Like it was a friendship breakup. So
who said that?
That's what she was asking. People were asking. No one was like, oh, y'all, it was just like an assumption. Like y'all must not fuck with each other no more.
They must not understand what friendship is then.
That
For
part.
real.
I
Everybody on
know.
Life G actually loves each other in real life.
Amen. Amen.
Except JR. He wants to be excluded from that statement.
I like it better when Shelly doesn't like me because it's so much
Mm.
more fun.
But JR,
I
if
know
I
you love
don't,
me.
I was gonna say I love you, but if I
Mhm.
didn't like you, then you would really see that I didn't like you. Because if I didn't like, I wouldn't talk to you. I don't fuck with people I don't talk. I
Oh,
don't like.
but that would make horrible content if you didn't talk to me.
Absolutely.
You should not like me and talk to me.
No, I would just not like you and not talk to you, and then it
That's
would be
not
a
true.
complete ignore. It would be a complete ignore Jr. Like Jr. would not exist in my world. I don't care if we were all on the podcast together. I would just bypass him completely if I didn't like him.
But Shelly, we're naked under our clothes.
We are naked under our clothes. We're
What are
naked
y'all
buddies.
talking about?
We're naked buddies. You
We're
know.
just me and Shelly are connecting right now. G, I just need you to give us a moment.
Take all the moments you need.
We're all in this together.
Isn't that a little bit more faster tempo than that?
I don't really watch Disney. I don't know. I really just kind of just made that up as I went along.
Now,
Wait, sing it again. Sing it again.
We're all in this together. I think I put like a little line with it.
He's drawing out the together.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this for somebody who don't watch Disney, it's amazing that you knew that came from Disney. Busted.
No, I do know it came from Disney. I just don't watch a lot, so that's the only part I know. I don't know if there was any more to it. I just know that's Disney.
Why is you lying, JR? Let me
He
go
just
watch
he
it.
just
Let me go look at your watch history.
Oh, please
oh
don't.
no.
I'm going to jail.
Oh no. We'll cut that part out. I'm just gonna make
Shelly.
this scene a long.
Oh,
that's all y'all are
Shelly,
gonna
you
hear.
can
I
watch
might
it.
put
Just
some.
don't snitch on me.
Don't snitch.
Just don't snitch on me. That's
Nah.
all I'm
That's
asking.
exactly what I'm doing. Instead of like the
Snitch.
weight screen, y'all are gonna see this, and it's just gonna be random jazz music in front of it. You don't have no idea what happened, but we know. We know.
Snitching ain't in my genes. Oh, but that brings up a good question.
Oh.
If you know something, or if you saw something that's, let's say, we're not talking about anything extreme like murder or anything like that, but if you saw something, would you snitch if you got asked about it?
That actually ties into today's topic very well.
I know how to do segues.
Gee, are you gonna answer or no?
I want JR to answer first.
Oh shit. I'm snitching. Snitches get bitches where I come from. You know what I'm saying? That's how it always been. So of course I'm snitching. That's just what it comes down to. You know, and for somebody to ever put me in that predicament, that means they want me to snitch. Like, why are you putting me in that predicament?
Wait, can we be like specific on like what it is?
Anything. Like it could be absolutely any crime, murder, anything. And I am snitching. I don't care if it's the homie cheating on his girl. Why would you put me in this? Snitching.
Okay, but
you're full of shit. I call bullshit. Men cover for other men
too.
all the
time.
I call bullshit. But I do that brings up an interesting topic, which feeds into the main topic of today's episode. So I've been scrolling through and on TikTok. I think this has always been a thing, but for some reason my TikTok feed lately has been full of it. And it's been women trying to warn other women about their exes or like comparing themselves to the new girl. This concept of I dated this guy, he was a certain way with me, so I know he's also doing the same thing to you. Like a lot of comparisons, a lot of this idea of like girls girl. And I honestly think the girls girl pact is secretly dead, even though women online love to act like that's actually a thing. So Shelly, I want to ask you first, do you think girls is still a thing right now?
I think it's a facade. I think we put it on that it's a thing, but I don't really think it's a real thing. I think we do it for show and or to show up someone in a general sense. I'll put it that way. Now, you probably do have some girl like G. I think you're girls when it comes to your true friends in that sense. But let it be some random Betty out there that you don't really A Betty. To all the Bettys, I do apologize for putting that out there. But if you find a random Betty out there that you don't really deal with, I don't think you may be like on the surface, you're like, oh yeah, girl, I'm for you, and that I don't really care.
So
Hmm.
I have always, for the longest time, been like, I'm a girl's girl. I love girls. Like, woo, go girls. But every time that I've let, you're right, somebody that I don't already have a relationship with, and even some women that I do have a relationship with, anytime I let them know some shit, it never goes good. So I'm taking it back. I'm not a girl's girl. I'm not your friend. You ain't doing nothing for me, so I ain't finna do shit for you. Cause it always ends up bad. And I stand on that. JR?
I don't understand the whole like you got to do for me to do for you. If that's the case, then we'll never do anything together. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we're both had that mindset, then we would never do anything. If I'm
Yeah, but
waiting on you and you're waiting on me,
girls girl concept is used to, it's never, I can't say never. Most of the time, girls are like, oh, you need to be a girl's girl when it's has to do with a messy ass situation. And it's just gonna make it messier. Rarely do you see two women who are strangers call on each other like, oh, be a girl's girl, or give me information I need about some regular shit. You're not going to a random stranger because you think she knows more about politics than you. You going over to her because you think she knows something about the man you dealing with. And that's the tea that you want. And it never goes good.
So, do you understand the concept now, JR?
I get it, but I guess I can agree. I don't think women are really on the same page in a pride way like that. I
Right.
think I don't like how women be like, I don't even talk to women. All my friends are guys. I have no friends that are females. Like, like they only have
Yeah.
like one certain friend or something. So I get what you're saying then. I get what you're saying. It's not really a pride thing of women to come together.
And
No,
that's why I
but
said it's a facade.
mhm.
Like, because we want people to think that we're all this kumbaya, this girls, like, if I see your man cheating, I'm gonna go tell him and da da da. But we're not. Unless I know you, like, I think I'm a girl's girl when it comes to G. If I see something, I'm gonna say something. Stranger danger time.
But
And
that's more like a friend, right?
I ain't gonna lie. There's some shit, and this isn't anything current, so don't get mad at me. Fuck. There's been
Nope.
some
We're
shit that
mad.
I have.
Yeah.
some shit
No, we're mad.
that you didn't brought to people's attention and then
There's
cause an argument.
well, right,
Ooh.
right. I have brought as a friend. I have brought things to you. Genuinely, my perception is because I love you and I'm trying to protect you, and it
Mm.
hasn't gone well. So now,
Wait,
and that was
things
with evidence.
I can only recall one time, and that was my birthday weekend when I went out of town to see Oh
That
Boy.
was the big one, and that's the one that will stick on. Yes, because that was
Yeah,
the most like, I ain't finna say
like
shit. So now, and that one had evidence. That one had evidence. So because it had evidence and it went bad, and it went to a place of like, we ain't even got to go there. But because it went like that, I was like, I'm not saying shit to Shelly unless I know for a fact I have all the evidence stacked up beyond a reasonable doubt and I'm fully prepared to deal with some sort of an argument or silent treatment. Yep.
right, right. I mean, and I think I'm the same way because I've brought things to you, and
She
they've
said,
been,
right.
well,
Right.
gosh darn it, I'm not gonna say anything, but I think we do ourselves, and I'm talking to myself at this point, between
Mhm.
just me and you. This is girl time. Sorry, JR. I think I do myself and I do our friendship a disservice when I get in that mode of I'm not going to say anything because I'm not really being true. I
Yeah.
think we are at a stage in our relationship to where we know firsthand that we love each other enough that we are not intentionally trying to hurt one another. So we should have that freedom despite our trepidation of, oh, should I or shouldn't I?
And
And
I
that is,
agree.
Well, hold on. Now I'm jumping in this girl talk. Not that I'm a girl. I'm just saying,
are you sure
because
it's under your robe?
Oh, Shelly.
nakedness.
Shelly. Go to bed and try again.
No, but seriously though, because I like what you said, Shirley, because a lot of people don't understand that's a real good relationship in general, though, is to understand the other person's intentions, which a lot of people like to say, I'm sorry, more than they like to say thank you. And I don't like that.
Mm.
I would rather have people say thank you than I'm sorry. What I'm saying? Like, oh, well, thank you for looking out for me. Not I'm sorry for receiving the information and doing what I wanted with it and flipping it however. But thank you for doing that. And that's what I say. Like, intentions are probably the most important thing in any
Mhm.
relationship, is understanding that intentions and having that trust. So no, I like that, Shelly, a lot. It made me think deeply as I lick my lips.
So you looking Vaseline now?
Yes. And it tastes
Mhm.
great. Tastes like
Wow.
chicken grease.
Why
Once
does the
again,
Vaseline taste like chicken? What are you dipping in the side of that Vaseline?
Little chicken seasoning. I
what
put some
Oh my
chicken broth.
God.
question needs to be answered, Jr. What is in that Vaseline
For it to taste like chicken grease.
for real? What you be putting in there? What do you dip on the side of it? The fact that it's just all.
He said it was sitting on its side. If it's melty, it's going. Anyways,
First of all,
Penis.
stop.
It's penis.
You know what? I'm not even mad that he said that because that's what you was insinuating. So he just gave you what you
Hmm.
wanted.
thank you. That's all I
That's
wanted.
that's what you think. You know what I'm saying?
Speak your truth.
Yeah. I don't even
Okay.
masturbate, but if I did, I'll dip it right in there.
Yeah, this is definitely getting cut out. So
Yep. Just the tip.
Wow.
this is getting cut the fuck out. What? This is a family show. No, I'm playing. Please don't let your kids watch this.
Please don't let your kids watch this. If you
But
do,
you watch this after they go to bed.
I'm gonna question your parenting skills. There are
I'm
certain
about to say.
things that okay, but back to the girls, and same thing goes with guys. Like a manly man guy, because like okay, do guys have that kind of code, like a girl code? Jr. Since we
Yeah,
have
but
you in here,
our code is stronger. Like again, I might be snitches, but like men out here, they not snitching. They not telling. They can come to each other and they'll, because we already know, like, when it comes to men, it's war. Like, it's nuclear war. Like, we can push that button at any point. So we're more apt to like listen to each other, because if it goes south, like somebody can like be unalived real quick. You know what I'm saying? So it's
That's
really
true.
like, okay, let me hear what he got to say. And if I get mad, then we already know it might take it to the next level. But
you don't think women do that? I'm sorry, I feel like women these days are just as ruthless as men.
But
yeah,
that's the
I
thing.
think
Women
women
do it
think,
sneakily. Go ahead.
yeah, for a woman, the worst case scenario is an actual fight. Like, that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's the worst case. And then y'all
That's
already
true.
don't think that's bodily actual harm. Like y'all think like, oh, I might get scratched, hair pulled, and like
So
punched. But like men, we think it can go down to being
bad
unalived.
thing. I will say this though. And again, TikTok, where all the shit at. I just saw a story not too long ago about a dude, like him and his baby mama were living together. It was one of those, we live together, but we're not together, but you know how it goes, right? So they're probably still messing with each other. And the baby mama and the dude's sister took his phone, called the side piece over, called the new girl over, made her think, oh, my man calling me to be over here. He was napping. He was asleep. And they called her over. They go meet her outside and they beat her up. Now she was able to walk around and stuff afterwards, but she had to get taken to the hospital, died from internal bleeding. I sent
Oh my
another
god.
one. Yep. I seen another one where some girls, they were part of the friend group. And I don't know when this happened or where this happened. So, but it is a real case. They threw a surprise baby shower for her, pregnant, and then they go and they jump her and she loses the baby. So women are very sneaky and conniving, and a lot of times,
Vicious.
especially if it's over a man, and I think that's kind of like the main part of this conversation, because ladies, we got to get it together. I'm not saying we got to be super, super kumbaya, but also recognize the person that you're dealing with and understand everything that comes with it. We can't keep fighting each other over this shit because these men will have us killing each other.
I'm sorry. Any woman that fights over a man to me is dumb as a box of rocks.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
No, I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna stand on it. You may not say it, but I'm gonna say it. That is
Hmm.
straight out of my mouth
Why?
because Why do I got to fight over you? If I have to fight over you, you were never mine to begin with.
But
Why
at
would he
a
be
certain,
yours?
Why would he be mine? If
Yeah,
we're
like,
if we're together, then he is mine, and
but
I'm
you're
his.
technically his.
We are each other's.
oh, here we
No,
go.
y'all are a reflection of each other, but you're his responsibility.
Until I have a ring on my finger, we are each other's responsibility because I should be taking care of him just as much as he's taking care of me.
But not when it comes to the protection aspect of it.
Protection can come in multiple ways where there are more
Mhm,
ways to protect someone than just physical.
mhm.
As an emotional person, if I know that that's his weak area, then that's going to be my strong area. And I'm going to make sure that I protect him in that area.
Is
So
that really? I mean, I get what I get what you're saying, right? And I'm fitting around it, but when I hear it, it's hard for me to see that as a woman. Competition is like, nah, ain't no competition. He's mine. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, like you're supposed to earn that relationship just as much as he's supposed to earn you. So why is it not a problem when a man fights for a woman, but it's a problem when a woman fights for a man?
it's a problem when a man fights for a woman. Now,
I
here's the
don't
thing.
think.
When we say fight for, let's make sure that we understand the level of this. We are not talking about fighting your partner for themselves
Mhm.
because of our self-sabotage and all that other stuff. I'm talking about physically, verbally, or communicatively fighting another person
Okay,
for my partner.
I
Okay.
got a scenario. Fuck this. I got a scenario for you, Shelly. Because I don't. I disagree. I disagree heavily. But say you with your man. Don't think about your man currently. Just think about it. Put yourself in
Okay.
these shoes. You with
Okay.
your man. His baby mama tweaking the fuck out. She coming up to your man, calling him all sorts of names, all this other stuff, and then she got the nerve to push him. She got the nerve to be trying to get physical with him. Now, this would technically be you fighting over your man. Are you gonna let her put hands on your
No,
man, or are you gonna turn around and put hands on her?
let me pull up this video camera real quick because this shit finna go to court and you're getting arrested.
Mm.
And you're not
I
going,
do. I
okay.
do understand that.
And I get that.
I
And I might
understand that,
film,
and that's a good
I
way of
will film the
protection too.
beginning. I'm gonna film the beginning, and then I'll be like, all right, bet. Now I'm on your ass. Because
Nope.
I'm not gonna sit there and do nothing.
I'm gonna sit there because once again, it's levels. And if you've already had that conversation, I'm not gonna put my hands on you because at the end of the day, I have more to lose than what you have, in my own opinion. This is my opinion. Because at the end of the day, it's a scuffle. We both go to jail. I have the potential of losing my good ass job, losing my home, losing everything that I've worked hard for. When at the end of the day, this is a whole big ass man. Handle your business, and you better not put your hands on her either. Let's walk away while this video camera rolling, and we finna whoop, whoop, we gonna call that police. Yes,
So
that's how I am.
so I agree with that scenario and that response that you said, Shelly, because I also agree that if I'm in an altercation whatsoever, my woman needs to stay out of it, regardless of who it is. I don't even care if it's her own mother. I need her to stay out of it 100%. But I just look at it from a different perspective of a different scenario. But that scenario, I can agree with you, Shelly. Like I don't want my woman fighting at all. That's just me. I don't want her fighting, not even a little bit. Now, for me, that's different because she's gonna have some competition. I'm gonna have some hoes. I'm gonna have some side chicks and shit. She's gonna have to really do her part. But if you're talking about actually having to fist fight anybody, I don't want I like my woman very feminine. I don't need none of that aggression, combativeness whatsoever around me. You gonna fight a bitch, fight her while I'm not there. But I don't want to hear about it neither. And you better not come back with no scars because you know what I'm saying. That
I
don't turn
want
me
my
on.
But this is my thing though, JR. You just brought up a good point, and G, weigh in on this, please, because you agree with JR that you should fight for your person. And JR you just said you're gonna have your bitches, your side hoes, and that
Mhm.
competition. When you are maybe in the beginning, and I get that, and I'm still not gonna fight for you because if you want to be with me, you're gonna be with me because of who I am, what I bring to you, and what I give to you, and vice versa.
Mhm.
Now, if you never move past that, and I've got to do all this extra and jump through hoops, that's not real to me. Because if I have to go put on a show, let me go put my top hat on, let me go get my cane, let me go do my dance to show you just how good I am, that's not going to be something that's going to be maintained. My
It
mama taught me,
depends.
my mama taught me growing up, don't start something you're not going to finish. So if I start singing and dancing for you, that means throughout our whole relationship, I'm going to be putting on airs and singing and dancing.
It depends though. If I tell you I like singing and dancing and you start singing and dancing, then yeah, I'm gonna think that it's not gonna be, like sustainable. But if I don't tell you what I like and you just do stuff naturally that I like, then I think I should be able to rate you off of that or grade you off of that. And then
Absolutely.
that would be more sustainable.
Okay, now that I do agree with, but then when do you move past? Because what you're talking about is competition. That means, let's say we're together. I know you got other pieces out there, and I'm knowingly competing with them. When do the song and dance stop? Meaning, when am I able to take a breather? Because you got to get to that place, or you're always going to be trying to, what's next? What's next? What's next? And to me, that's not a healthy relationship or a healthy place to be in,
No, you're
even
right.
even for your own self.
My thing is I'm looking at it differently only because like in a relationship it's already committed, right? If I'm committed in a relationship, then there's no competition. You won already, right? I don't
Okay.
believe marriage is like the winner. Me committing is your prize, you know what I'm saying? Not marriage. Marriage is just on the lines of you sustaining it consistently and me saying I want this forever. But in a relationship, then I would say yeah, you win the prize. But beforehand of getting that relationship, yeah, you're going to be competing with other women because I'm out here dating. So I understand what you're saying. I don't think women need to compete while they're already committed. But if they are not consistent, then they have to understand that their position is at risk.
Okay, now that I can completely agree with. Same thing goes for a man, just like he has to work to,
Hmm.
So when you're okay, so you're not saying we're in a committed relationship, you're talking about that very beginning stages where my opinion is I'm a prize, may the best man win.
Hmm.
So
See, so
that's
you want the
basically what
man to
you're saying.
fight over you, but you
No,
don't
no,
want
no,
the
no, no.
women to fight over the men.
No. So me and Jay are in agreement. When you're in
Hmm.
a dating scenario, this
Yeah.
is this is why I believe in dating multiple people before commitment. Dating, not committed. There is a difference.
Hmm.
Dating scenario, I get what he's saying, and I'm in completely agreement with that. Because at the end of the day, we are the prizes. May the best person win. It is all a game. And the prize at the end of the day, like JR said, marriage is great, but it is that commitment level that should happen. And then that's when everything just kind of dissipates. So, JR, now that you've elaborated, I can understand it's at a different level. I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
about I'm thinking about commitment. Like, why the hell am I competing for you and you are already mine? We committed to one another, but you're saying in the very beginning. Gotcha.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about
But
you, D? In your
What?
opinion, are you saying that you should fight and fight no matter what the level is, whether we
I
are
fight for love. I
dating
fight for
or
a lot of things, and I fight for a lot of dumb shit. You think I'm not gonna fight over the man that I'm in love with? Are you crazy? You know what? There's our favorite song is "Getting Sticky." You know that song?
no?
you don't know the
Oh,
Tyler
shut
Creator
up.
song? It's his
It's
only
getting
good
sticky.
song.
Better find a mop. It's getting sticky in this bitch. Better
All right,
find a mop.
I
Well,
don't.
it's still a good song.
Anyways, to quote Sexy Red, because y'all know I love me some Sexy Red, she has a line in that song that says, and I quote, I don't fight for my respect. Bitch, I fight for dick. Baby girl, I'm finna rock your shit. Now,
Oh my gosh.
listen, I'm say
JR
D.
just got a little excited off of that one.
I
No,
don't
I'm
fight for my respect, bitch. I fight for dick. Now,
I ain't fighting for no
I
damn
hear
dick.
that quote and it sounds funny, and is it, she with the hoochie coochie and all that shit. But on some real shit, if I get to a point where I'm fighting another woman and it is going to appear, it's going to absolutely appear that I'm fighting over dick. But I'm not fighting over, if I'm actually physically engaging with you like that, I'm fighting for my respect. You done got disrespectful with me.
See,
That's why I say I'll get physical.
and I think that's where we differ about it because my my level of respect, regardless if you disrespect me, and I'm gonna put it like this: if you disrespect me, you've disrespected yourself. I'm not gonna lower myself. I'm not gonna come off my chariot to come play in the ground with you. You stay where you're at, and I'm gonna keep rising up. And if that's where he want to be, then that's where he want to be. I'm not gonna fight you physically because your words. Now, of course, you put your hands on me. That's a whole different scenario. All bets are off. But if we're just, my words cost money. I get paid for my words. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to, unless you got money to put in my hand, I'm not going to waste them on you. You can
And
say
I
and yap
love,
all you want. You can do a little yap all you want to, and I'm gonna sit back and laugh because you exerting energy, which tells me that you're pressed behind me and not the other way around.
and I love that, and I think that that is a great method to use 9 times out of 10. But it just be that 1 out of 10 that sometimes you just got to do what needs to be done. Now, again, I don't condone that. Normally, I'm not in that lane, but I'm saying if you catch me outside fighting with another female, it's going to look like it's over dick, but it's about respect. And that just is what it
I'm
is.
sorry. I'm sorry if I catch you fighting outside. I'm jumping in. I'm just gonna say that.
See that?
I don't care what it's over because you're my girl. First of all,
Okay, but see that this goes back to the main topic, which is the girl thing. I can't tell you how many times my homegirls have got me into a fucked up situation, especially with a man. And they don't even
girl,
let you
tell me
know about
about
it.
it.
And it's like, damn, why didn't you tell me that I was gonna have to lie to TJ today? I didn't want to lie to TJ today.
Let me
Why?
ask you.
Tell me about it. And you know what? Them ain't,
Wait.
and those girls that have done that to us, and I'm gonna say this, you know who you are. I'm speaking directly to you right now. You was fucked up and you was dead ass wrong for doing that. And you wasn't for me. And that's why we are where we are now.
Oh,
I got a question, Shelly.
What's up?
Let's say G came to one of your barbecues and she got into it with your man's sister. You jumping in?
If it gets physical,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. But I'm
For
gonna jump.
who?
Hold up, hold
she
up.
gon- I already know she
All right,
gonna grab
all
me
right,
by
hold
my
up.
hair and yank me back. But sit
Hold
down.
up.
I already
Hold up,
know
hold
she
up,
will.
hold up. I got a question. It's levels. All right. How
It's
long?
always a level. You
How
don't know
long
what
he
the
been my
fight
Levels.
is
man?
over. Nope. You don't know
How
what the
long?
fight is over.
How long has he been my man? How long
He
has
been
Shelly.
let's say he's your husband.
he my
Let's say
husband?
y'all been together full 5 years, y'all married.
Oh, I'm jumping in and mollywopping both of y'all because first of all, y'all coming to my house, y'all at my barbecue, at my establishment, and y'all want to cut the fool in front of me. I don't care what it's over. I'm hitting both of y'all and I'm putting y'all in timeout, and then I'm gonna put y'all in the come together shirt because this is family. Family fight, but then we gonna make up. So y'all gotta get it together because I'm
And what
not
if she
losing
said
you.
something disrespectful? What if she said, what if I'm fighting about you, bitch? What if she said some slick shit about you and I was like, you know what, motherfucker? You got the right one today.
If she's saying some slick stuff about me, same thing applies. I'm mollywopping both of y'all because I don't know what it's about
That's
initially.
crazy.
And then I'm gonna put y'all in the come together shirt because at the end of the day, I need to know what your problem is with me. Because if you have a direct problem with me, then you don't need to be in my home. You're no longer welcomed here. If we can't squash what we got and my girl had to
Mhm.
come after you, then you don't need to be in my home. What is your problem? Oh, what is your problem? I don't care if people like me, but you're
Ooh.
gonna respect me. And you're gonna
Mm,
respect my house.
that's what I'm
Mm.
So
saying. So you just fought about your respect. It ain't over dick. You fought for respect, Shelly. That's why you
no,
mollywop both of us. It's about
I did, I
respecting your
did, I
house.
did.
See
Cause
there?
y'all, cause y'all, cause y'all killing my vibe.
Exactly.
First
And
of
let a
all,
bitch
I
get
don't like people
disrespectful
like
from
that.
killing my
So
vibe.
I don't like people, first of all. So for me to have a barbecue and have all y'all folks at my house, I expect all y'all to be on y'all P's and Q's at
Mm.
all costs. Hence,
Yeah.
everybody who coming to my barbecue when I come in town, please be on your P's and Q's. Because
And I'm gonna be there.
I'm not trying to go to jail while I'm in town, y'all. We're not doing
Oh
that.
Lord.
Seems like G really just a fighter, ain't she?
Because I would have been more mad. Okay, and G's right. I would be pulling her back because I would be more mad at her because
She's
I
an angry girl.
expect more of her. I
Yep.
And I
expect
expect
more of
more of
you.
me too. But I'm gonna say this though, and it's so funny because especially being on social media, having a platform and witnessing other people who do have platforms, no matter how big or how small, people love to just make it, and I'm not saying that that's you, because I do believe that that's how you truly believe, and I've seen you operate as such. But a lot of people, y'all be acting like you can just be so like Gandhi with it, so like all calm and shit, when shit really be popping off. Most of y'all finna throw hands and ask questions later, and I'm just keeping it real. I'm just
No,
being
that's a fact.
honest.
And
That's a fact.
that is major facts, but you gotta know yourself. Like I know if I ever get physical with another person, I am truly afraid. So that's why I try to hone myself in, because once you hit that go mode, there is no stopping the go mode. And
Mm.
I know how that is. So, and it took me a long time to get to this place.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It is a for me. I'm not saying, guys, don't take offense when I say it, but to me, it's a level of maturity that I had to reach,
But can I
only
ask you
because
something?
within myself.
Can I ask you something? And this is real. I'm sorry, JR. I know we're having like mainly girl talk,
No,
and I
I'm
want you to weigh
loving
in
this.
too. But I have a serious question. So you remember when we were talking about like our relationship history and shit like that? Since I'm
Mhm.
used to being pitted against another woman against my will, since I'm used to being met with the "Hey girly, I got something to tell you" messages, or even face-to-face encounters, I am used to being like, you coming to me face to face, or you come, these girls not all the time are coming at you respectful. Do you feel like part of your mindset is because you've never, I don't want to say never, but you mentioned to me that you haven't, to your knowledge, been cheated on. So you haven't had like your man right there, and then the "Hey girl, this is what's going on," and you looking at him sleeping all good and shit in the bed next to you, and you got this girl on your phone. So you haven't had that experience of like, what the fuck? If you did, are you sure you wouldn't act differently?
With that being said, some information came to light recently. And so an ex, spin the block ex, did admit it, the fact that they did cheat on me. And
Oh,
here's my thing. G, you may be right. I may have, and I may futuristically handle things differently had I been in that situation continuously. But I'm such a I'm not even a fight or flight girl. I'm a flight girl. Literally, minute I feel like I remotely smell smoke, I'm gone.
Wow.
mm.
And I'm like, kick rocks, deuces. And I'm telling you why I'm leaving, because you have made me feel insecure within our relationship. Now we're talking about committed relationship. Dating wise, I don't care. You go do you, I do me, because I'm gonna do me always until
Yeah.
we are locked in. But if you're telling me you mine, you my old lady, you my old man, and then I remotely feel like it's somebody out there, oh, okay, you're not really for me. Back to the streets I go.
Now, I
Mm.
will say a lot of men, and JR, this is where I want to get some of your input. A lot of men, especially as I've gotten older, have made it very clear that they do not, like JR said, they do not condone their woman fighting or being physical, especially not over them. JR, have you ever had women get into it over you? And if so, how did you handle that situation?
Yeah, I've had it multiple times actually. Actually, it's kind of all the time. Um,
Conceited much?
well, not like I mean, I love awkward. Mind you, I used to practice getting caught up, so like that was a thing. Um,
Somebody get this man a t-shirt line and
I'm
everything.
just
We need mugs.
We need mugs.
I used to
Merch
all
coming
practice
I'm
soon,
getting
y'all.
caught. No, I
Merch
have
coming
more
soon.
questions on this. Go ahead, JR, because I have a lot of follow-up questions to this. Go ahead.
no, but serious. Like so, some women, right? I mean, they size the woman up, see what's going on, and some women will be like, "You not worth it." Some women will be like, they'll be mad at me, And but ultimately, if they both are infatuated with me and they what I'm saying, are upset at a situation like of like competition trying to get me, then yeah, I mean, I've had that happen. I've had two girls go to blows, and I just had to break them up. But I mean, I was gonna ghost all of them anyway, so it doesn't really like I'd never actually put any thought after like onto a post fight situation.
Mm. Okay, so all right, fuck it. You said you practice getting caught up, and as I'm asking you, have women ever fought over you? Can you give us ladies an inside scoop on what is going on in a man's brain the moment he realizes he just got caught.
Okay, so the first time I actually got like caught without like not the practice, um I'm gonna keep it. I don't think men are like me. I think a lot of men are insecure, right? So in their mind, they want to be able to try to get their woman back, apologize, gas. They want to manipulate as hard as possible, right? Me, I'm more of the like, you got me. Oh, well, so a man's mind, I would really assume it's like, oh, wait, just understand, I still love you. You don't understand that I don't even like her. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a weird mindset of a man. Like, I don't want to lose what I've invested in, even though I did something else, So a lot of men, they're thinking like, yo, I don't understand. Why don't you see how much I love you regardless of this situation? This is nothing. So that's what a man's mind is thinking. Me, I'm just like, yo, you got two choices. Either you're going to suck it up or stop talking to me. One or two.
And that's how a lot of men handle confrontation. A lot of times, like, yeah, I'll get the, and Shelly, you can let me know stories you've had, or even it doesn't necessarily have to be about cheating, but like when you confront your dude, it almost immediately goes into, but you looked for that shit and you kind of did it to yourself. And since I'm caught, like, shit, I'll just go.
Gee, I have no stories on that because, like I said, I saw smoke or okay, E2. I thought he cheated, and it was, baby, I ain't do it. I got proof. Da da da. It's just opposite. I've never had somebody be like, okay, if that's really how you feel, I'm just gonna walk. It's always kind of how JR said they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I ain't do it. Granted, to this day, I still don't think he did after the fact, but it was just no.
And for that to happen is like, because like me, when I do that, women are like one woman was literally driving. I mean, I was driving back with her, and she literally was like, well, okay, well, I never talked to a secure guy before, so I guess that didn't work on you. And I'm just like, yeah, nah, it didn't. Like, get out of
Oh
my car.
wow.
Like normal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily an immediate like, oh, I'll just go then, like I'll grab my shit and go. It's not necessarily like that, but when I confront someone, I make sure to have photo evidence, maybe even audio evidence. There's no, if I'm going to court, I'm
Oh,
fully
never mind.
prepared to present my case. So if I'm presenting the case and it's like, you caught, oh, and this, nope, I called your mama too. Oh, you said you was at work. I called your job. They said you quit 2 weeks ago. Like, I will make
Oh, never
sure
mind.
that I know that I know that I know. And if you encounter again a man who knows what he's doing, it is intentional. When they see
If you
all that,
bring
it's
me all
like,
that, G, yeah, if you bring me all that, you right. At that point in time, be like,
yeah, because they
God
don't want to deal with
dang.
it, because they know, oh shit, now she knows I'm doing something. Now anything that I say to her after this point in order to get her trust back and not deal with the extra shit with her, that's gonna be a whole process. Like, you called my job, bitch. Oh, she committed. Don't
But
play with
see,
her.
That
but see,
don't
but
make no
that
sense.
but JR, okay, I got an
Mhm.
extra question. But in my opinion, if I didn't did all this and I didn't brought it to you, and I'm bringing it to you versus just walking away, because technically at this point I could have just walked away.
Yeah.
I'm giving you an out. I'm giving you an opportunity to save it. Why would you not try to save it?
It's not about saving it. At that point in time, like you bringing it to me with all the evidence and you not walking away, to me, that means you want to be here still or you
Right.
want closure, right? Either one or the other. And to me, it's like, dang, am I really going to give up this consistent sexual access? No. So of course I'm about to gaslight, lie, whatever, or I'm gonna turn it on you. Why would I give up consistent sexual access all because you don't want to be nosy? No.
But wait, I don't get that. You're not giving up consistent sexual access because I am your access.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You, like
Yeah,
when
like
you
if you
bring
were
it
to
to
walk
me, I'm
away.
going to try to keep you because one, you already know the truth. So now I
Well,
ain't
no,
gotta lie.
okay,
And
okay,
then
okay.
two, you're consistent sexual access. Why am I giving that up?
I think we're getting something confused. G
Oh, okay.
said that when she presents the evidence like
Yeah.
this, they walk away. They don't even try to save it.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
that they don't. It's, you got to,
They
okay.
turned it on her.
Yes.
and then it's
Well,
like an
yeah.
ultimatum in a way to where they're
Mhm.
like, do you want me to leave? You want me to stay? You know what I'm saying? They're putting it in her hands, which ultimately, if you're bringing that to him in the first place, you don't want him to leave because you would
Right.
have just left then. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Well, it's a two-parter, but something you said, JR, where you were like they feel really secure. I definitely anybody that I'm dealing with, I want to feel secure, so I exude that to them. So I think a lot of times, and where there's smoke, there's not always fire. So especially if you've dealt with situations like that before, there could be another explanation. Probably isn't, but there could be.
Hmm.
So I like to sit back and just pile up the evidence. And
I'm sorry.
again, when you confront somebody with all of that, it does become like, okay, so where do we go from here? Because there's no lie that I can tell you that is going to get me out of this, which means you no longer trust my word. And if you don't trust my word, how long are you going to make me pay for this? Just because you want to stay with me, how long are you going to make me pay for it? And a lot of these men, I don't deal with dumb motherfuckers. They just not the most loyal motherfuckers. So they
Which
know
is a
that's going
problem.
to be an
But
uphill battle.
you just brought up a good point. How long? You said, how long am I going to make them pay for it? How long? First of all,
That's the
do you make
question.
them
Yeah.
pay for it? It's a
Oh
two-parter.
yeah,
One, do you make them pay for it?
yeah.
Or two, and two, how long? Because in my opinion, if I got to put in extra work like that, and you right, G, may not always be smoke, but somebody's rubbing some twigs together, so that cause
Mhm.
that little bit of smell. So
Absolutely.
we got a couple of options. We gonna either go ahead and burn them twigs, or we gonna snap them. So how long you gonna let them pay for it? And then how do you get past that though? Because it's internal at this point. And then it's like, do we keep punish the person? Because now that I know it's in my face and they're trying to do better, how do you earn their trust back? How do they earn your trust back?
They can't.
Yeah.
It's almost so a man's job, of course, like I always say, is to secure, and that's part of securing a woman is making sure that
Mhm.
she knows that she's like there and she's like appreciated for being there. So when you cheat, it messes with women's mind, even though I always say men like cheating has nothing to do with a woman, but when they do find out, it does mess with their mind. So that's a man's job. So if he's good at being able to secure you after that, then yeah, I would think the relationship might even be stronger because he's
Mhm.
already put himself into a routine of like assurance and security. But if he's not like fixated on trying to secure you as one of his roles, then it will never work. And it doesn't matter how long. Women will bring it up forever if he can't
And
secure you.
mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then I feel like it's a very slippery slope when you do try to work things out after something like that because a lot of women don't want to. You're dealing, like you said, with insecurities immediately. You're dealing with the feeling of being rejected with a person that you might be married to, might be every morning. Like this person is a part of your everyday routine. So it's gonna be hard to like just up and leave, even if they cheated or they dogged you the fuck out. But a lot of women aren't present after that happens. It's I know from experience, sometimes you just can't get past it as much as you want to. This man could be amazing to you. You could have the passcode to his phone, but if you haven't truly like gotten to the root of the cause in the relationship and you're not willing to look past it, you're not going to get past it as hard as you may try. So I think that's where kind of like most men, depending on how crazy it was, you should gauge what it's going to take to be able to earn that woman's trust back. And then that woman
What?
also needs to be real with herself. I'm saying you should gauge it. If it seems like if
For
it's like
what?
a one time thing or it's like a little thing where it's like, okay, so I know moving forward, I just can't be out of the bars past 2 a.m. with the bros. And that's gonna give her the reassurance. But if the
No.
reassurance is gonna come with bitch got a GPS tracker on my car. She wants a passcode to my phone. She done installed Ring cameras so she can see me coming and going. If it becomes, and a lot of women will do that, where they go into surveillance mode, then that man should walk away for both of their sake. They shouldn't even try to
Look,
work it out.
again, I hear what you're saying and I want to agree with you, but I just can't agree with it completely. Right. At one point as a man, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
she wants to stop you from protecting her, providing from her, and securing her. She wants to stop you from doing extra work. Thank you. Actually, I'm gone. And then there's the other part that's like I don't have a problem with you checking all my stuff for security. You know, I don't have a problem with you doing that. But when you find something, just know it's because you're checking all of my stuff for security. That's not going to stop me from doing what I'm going to do, but you can still have it. You can have my location. You can have the passcode to my phone. And when you see what's going on, again, I'm not going to stop you from taking, you know what I'm saying, some of this responsibility off me of protecting you and providing for you.
But
If you
that's
want to
someone
go,
who's
you
gonna
can
keep
go.
doing it. That's someone who's not remorseful.
Regardless, is what I'm saying. If you do it one time or you do it 1,000, I don't, at the end of the day, I'm going to be me as a man because that's what got you in the first place. I'm the pursuant. That's what got you.
But I'm gonna
I'm not
say
about to
this.
change that.
No, but it's not. And I guess that ties back into what we were initially talking about. We are not dating the same person because when you have someone that you know is the one, you're not going to do those things. This is I'm committed to
Mm,
you. If and this goes for women. This is not just I'm not dating the same man
Mm.
because I have to admit I know for a fact I am not the same woman dating now that I was dating my exes. I am not. And that is just y'all, I just had to stop talking because JR went and got a comb, a rat tail at that, and is combing his beard. It just threw my whole train of thought off.
You know what be funny? What be funny is when in the lives his mic was so turned up you could hear it like combing the as he's sitting there pondering what misogynistic shit can I say next to piss G off.
Right. But no, but in all honesty, G, you were looking kind of funny for a moment. But if that is the person that you want to be with, you are going to do what it takes to get them and to keep them, which means those type of self-destructive behaviors, and that is what I'm calling it, because you should no longer be in hunter mode once you got your prey. You should just be in feast mode and maintaining it and
Never,
salt that meat so that it preserves.
I like
never.
what you said, Shelly. I like what you said, but I want you to think about this right now, right? You're absolutely right. We are hungry as like just naturally. We're hungry. And if a woman changes up that we have her, that does not change our hunger. All right.
Mm.
It doesn't change our hunger. So that's why a lot of these women don't understand that like sex for a guy is hunger. And I'm kind of moving it over a little bit. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
but it's just it came to me, and a lot of women never understood that is that it's a hunger. It's a literal hunger. So when you're dating, you're smashing every single day and all this stuff, and then when you get in a committed relationship, now it's like 4 times a week, and then when you get married, it's 1 time a week, maybe 3 times a month. It's like that isn't
I
all
don't get
because
it.
you're
I
not
don't
as
get that. I don't get that. First of
well.
all, I don't mean to interrupt you, but then that's on both of y'all because that's a
Mm,
conversation that
but
should have been had
but that
because that it's sex. Okay, JR, you took it there. Sex is one of those things where I should be meeting you where you are, and you should be meeting me where we are. And we have to make time for each other. Yes, we have the everyday, then we got the kids, then we got the bills, then we got the added stresses. But then if you're not putting back into that relationship, because how I got you is how I'm gonna keep you. If me draining your balls twice a week got you to where you are with me, I'm gonna make sure I keep draining your balls. I'm even doing an extra one, if I feel good
that's
throughout the
nice
day.
in theory. That's nice in theory, but let's be real. A lot of women are not continuing to give ultimate sexual access. They put on a
That's
big
on
show in
them.
the front. No, it is on them, but we're not talking from just our personal experiences. We're also talking about the generalizations of it. And a lot of these men, the more commitment, the more invested that they are in the relationship, the less sexual access, the more the woman takes advantage of you, the more you start to, and I think that's where that resentment comes
I get
in
that.
with women in relationships, where it's like, so if I was expected to provide in the beginning, and here we are in the middle and the end, and I'm still expected to provide, you can't flash a titty over here. You mean to tell me I can't get a little head over here? And that's what a lot of women
Mhm.
will lean on. Well, life is happening. Now I have kids.
Now
Now I
do
have
me
that.
some head. Mhm.
But especially
But
if you
then
are in a committed relationship and y'all are consensual, then it is on both people. But that's not the reality of a lot of the situations.
that's
Straight
why
up.
I think that's why I feel like I'm really a man sometimes because I have just as high a sex drive as a man does.
Mm.
Let me see a little piece of flesh. Oh, it's on.
Shelly, oh, this is rated G. Get it? It's rated G. Watch
But
yourself.
no, but it is one of those things to where if there and JR, I get what you're saying, G, I get what you're saying, but if there is a true reason why it's being withheld or not giving as ample as it, because at the end of the day, your partner should want to please you. And it should be vice versa. If there's a real reason, let's address the real reason so we can get back
I
to where we are. But then if it's I'm just holding it out, just I'm using it as a power play. Oh, I, I
I
want the
don't
new
think a lot of
I want the
women
new
use it
Birkin
like
bag.
that. I don't think a lot of women use it like that, but I also don't think a lot of women have this deep rooted reason for not being more sexually active in their relationships either. I think it is we beg and we plead for the status of a girlfriend, and then after that we want to be the fiance, we want to be a wife soon after that, we want to be a mother, we want all these things that scream commitment, more investment, more investment, more investment. And as we see that this man is investing in us, we get more comfortable and more comfortable and more comfortable. And then we get lackadaisical in certain areas because you're not as afraid that this person is going to leave. It's the same concept of when a man stops courting you.
Well, it's not
It's the
just
same
that though.
thing.
It's
And
I
to me,
mean, it's
that
not
is the
just
But
that.
wrong mindset. So
but I will say
I'm
this
agreeing with
though.
you guys. That is the wrong mindset to
It is
have.
it
Well, it's
isn't wrong.
not. That's not that wrong. How's that wrong when that it's shown that women have expressed more happiness when they have family and committed
That
relationships. Like
no,
it's already shown that.
No,
but
that's not what I'm
it's
saying is
not
wrong.
Oh,
I'm saying it's wrong to where G was just saying where we're asking for we're asking for these new titles, we're asking for these different level of commitment, and but then we're not doing our part. And when I say our, I'm talking in general for those
mhm,
women out there that don't do their
of
part.
course.
It is
but
a
I'm gonna say something
you gotta
controversial. I'm gonna
do
say
your
it.
part. Ladies,
I'm gonna
suck it,
say it.
bend it over, do what you gotta do.
Yes.
Shelly, no, okay,
Yeah.
listen. I will say this and then I want to table this part of the conversation because we kind of got veered off and we'll go back to that. But my God, it's gonna be controversial. Y'all ladies are gonna be mad at me.
No, they
But
won't.
I've been I mean, I have a lot of female friends. I was a girl's girl for a long time. And when your homegirls are calling you talking about their relationships that are failing in certain areas, or it's like, oh, I have had friends tell me multiple, girl, I just don't have a sex drive like that. And then what happens? The breakup happens, all of a sudden, libido up.
Why
Some
did
some
you
happens and they meet somebody new, say they're still in a relationship, right? And I even had one person, I'm not gonna say no names, but they opened up their marriage because she had a low sex drive. So you would think if we're opening up the marriage because I have a low sex drive as your partner and I want you to be able to experience these things without feeling judged, right? So we come to this agreement. You would expect the girl to be sitting her ass in the house and not engaging in anything because you're the one with the low libido. That's not how it went. They both were out there dating. They both were out there having sex with other people. So again, I think women sometimes, majority of the time, you just get too comfortable. And that's why I say like women aren't doing their part. You can
and I
feel how
agree
you
with
want to
that.
feel, but
No, and agree. Gee, we are agreeing. If you're not doing your part, to me, that's the F up. I stay on my P's and Q's because I don't fear that my partner's going to leave me at all. But I feel like it is my responsibility and my pleasure to make sure that because he's meeting all my needs, I'm meeting all his needs and needs that he may not even realize that he has. So, G, you're right. And I'm agreeing with you. You got to do your part. Everybody has a part to play in this relationship. And if you're not pulling your weight, then it is bound to fail.
it's bound to fail. And sometimes you both can be pulling weight and it's just not the right person at the right time, which kind of leads into the concept of we may be dating the same person, their government name is the same, they got the same mom and the same pappy, everything's the same, but you're having a completely different experience with this person. JR, what do you think about this craze of women online, this trend, if you will, of women outing their previous situations and even sometimes posting pictures of their exes and almost doxing them in a sense to warn future women off of dating this same person? What do you think about that? Oh, I'm sorry, real quick, because Shelly's always with the levels. I'm not talking about a relationship that has been abusive where this woman is now under the impression that someone could be physically hurt. We're just talking about taking on the chin and
All the
comes with
dirty
a game.
laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
no,
it.
I agree with it. To be honest with you, I like it. I mean, as a man, I stand on like a lot of like pride within my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman who ever dealt with me is not going to call me like an a-hole or any of that stuff. Like a woman who's
Mhm.
really actually dated me, they're not going to do that though, because if I ever even gave them a relationship, it's with the mindset of full commitment, and I'm going to do right by you, understand my intentions are going to be for us, and I'm a reflection of you and you're a reflection of me. So any relationship I've been in, they're not going to tell you that stuff because I'm trying to operate at the highest form of myself when I'm in a relationship. Now the hoes might say some other stuff, and if they say some other stuff, that's cool, they was hoes. I don't have a problem with that neither, because again, I always tell people you should always act as if somebody's watching you, because people always act different when somebody's watching you. You know what
That's
I'm saying? You
true.
might be saying something, and when the camera on, you're gonna say something different. I tell you this all the time when it comes to men being on the podcast. They in
Mhm.
front of that camera, they're gonna sit there and be, oh yes, love women, protect women, all that stuff, women. But then as soon as they get off the podcast and go chill at the bar with their homies, man, F these bitches, just tell it's time to F these bitches and all that stuff. I tell people gotta keep the
Facts.
same energy. So I agree with these women out and these men, because now it's just it just gives me more options. You feel me? Shoot, you want
I
somebody
can't
gonna
Wow.
be honest?
I
Come
can't tell
slide.
you how many times.
Wow.
I really can't tell you how many times, especially the internet's such a funny place. How many times women will jump on the bandwagon like, yeah, girl, fuck him. I can't believe he did that to you. Oh my God. Nobody date this person. Find his Instagram, and then you find him. And then you see he fine as hell. The way these women switch up, they be like, shit, and he on the market now. Come do that to me. Again, not the abusive ones, but just the ones that are like, and he cheated on me and he was never loyal and he kept lying. Those men, sometimes when y'all ladies think you doing him a disservice, it makes the bitches flock to them. Okay. So you better off
It
just
does. It does.
Being quiet? Nah, G,
No.
being
you messing up.
quiet.
All right.
I've
I'm gonna
had
tell.
some fucked up situations and
I'm gonna
I've
tell
not
you.
aired out my dirty laundry. I even on this podcast alone, I think I've only told a handful of stories. And even that doesn't accurately paint the picture. It took, oh my God, it probably took a full like almost 2 years before everybody really realized that I was even separated because
Yeah,
I was
but
that hush about it.
and Shelly,
I'm
I want you to go, but I gotta say this, G, as a man, and when you have these women doing this, 9 times out of 10 it's cap. Like that's just my opinion. Like a lot of these women be lying. They just go off of their feelings, and then when they actually look back at it and realize, then they like, oh man. And since a lot of women know that, if a woman's on the internet talking about some, he a cheater, he ain't this, he ain't that, other woman probably be like, he ain't that for you. I didn't say that about my ex, and now I look back, he wasn't even all that bad compared to the men
Facts.
I'm dating now. So
Well,
to me, it's just cap. Like unless he literally did physical harm, which we're not talking about, but unless he actually went against his provision, protection, and security rules, like he probably still a okay dude. And some of these women are they're gonna try to attach themselves.
Mhm.
but what if they so and again, there's this concept of things like, and I don't want to stay on cheating because it's bigger than that, right? But when someone
How about he was
acts
cheap?
the yeah,
Let's
it just
let's.
anything, any complaint that a woman would have, like JR said, where he's not providing, he's not protecting, there's not provision, any complaint like that, just because he didn't do that with you, warning other women off or being like, oh, he's now in this next situation and she thinks she got a good man. She ain't got a good man. I don't know how much I like that rhetoric, or even I think we had for my B day, we had an episode on the girls posting all these dudes up on these like, are we dating the same man Facebook pages.
I like it though. Here's why I like it. I like it for the guys because
There we go. Come on now, Shelly.
for a woman to purposely go out of her way, because we know we are very methodical creatures, G. For a woman to purposely go out of her way to be like, oh, y'all don't date this man. He a cheater. He cheap. He don't spend no money on dates and da da da. You pressed about that man. Because if you really didn't care about him or you wasn't pressed behind the situation, kick rocks. I'm Gucci, you Gucci. You going about your business. I'm going about my business. And what we did was great while we did it. But for me to purposely go on the internet and to air out, let's call it dirty laundry, it's because I'm pressed behind this.
Of course,
Either
they're
he
pressed.
either he has some good D, which is advertising for the man, be like, hey, I'm so pressed about this man, I'm warning y'all off.
See,
Probably in
lady,
secret hopes that he spin the block or I spin the block and we lock it in one more time. Or I'm pressed to the point to where I don't want, this is mine forever. So I'm going to warn everybody off of them. At the end of the day, I like it for the men. Women don't do it because it makes no sense. Because
Zero.
we know at the end of the day, how you are with person A, it may not be how you are with person B.
Yes.
Plain and,
Yes.
plain and simple. Now, my core values are going to be the same, but how I treat you and how you treat me, and I may do a little bit of extra. Instead of doing a Glock 2000, I may do the Glock 3500 on you.
everybody is different. Yeah,
Everybody is different.
everybody's
You are,
different.
G. What I used to say. I am an apple pie. I am whatever you put in me, and that's what you're going to get.
Pause.
Pause. Whoa.
Pause.
Whoa. Whoa.
And it's so funny. She said, "Gee, what do I always say?" I've never heard Shelly say no shit like
Yes,
this.
you have.
I
Shelly
thought she
has
was gonna say
always
there's levels
said,
to this.
"I'm an onion. You peel back the layers and you gonna get a different side of
I
me."
got
That's
layers.
what Shelly
That's
said.
right.
She ain't
No,
never said
listen.
no apple pie. I'm whatever you put in me. Whoa.
Well, I would
onion-
hope it's apples.
Gee,
You're an apple pie.
I am going to go find the text message because I've said it. My core value is I'm an onion and I got multiple layers.
Oh
But
shit.
I will treat you with what you've invested and what you have put into me, as long as it is not compromising my core values, which is my onion level. That's what we're talking about. What you put in me? You put in cinnamon, you put in sugar, you put in nutmeg, or did you happen to mess up and grab the salt? So now I may not do the same thing that I did
Are you
with
telling
old boy.
me, Shelly, that what he puts into you dictates how you are? Isn't that kind of like counterproductive when it comes to a relationship of getting the best version of you?
It is not, because it does not negate my core values.
Yeah, but you might be an apple pie, but are you a good one? Are you worth buying? Are you the one that I can sell to people, or do I just pass it outside to the dog because of what I put in you? Is what I'm saying. So if I put nothing in you, does that make you a nothing person? Like you're bland if I put nothing into you?
No. I
Mhm.
will be bland for you.
Yeah.
But then that dog that you threw me to understood where the grocery store was and put in the right ingredients. And then he got the best tasting pie ever.
See, I get what you're saying, and I can understand what you mean from an investment standpoint. You're only speaking about investment. You yourself, you already know your worth, so I can agree with that. But the problem that I do have is that it works both ways so much that a woman would do so much for a guy depending on how much he invests in her, but it's the same exact level of investments that women need to do for men, and women aren't used to that because they are the ones getting pursued a lot of the time. They don't understand they also have to invest in their guy, and they don't learn that till way later on in age, which
And you're
again,
right. You are absolutely right, JR. And these are concepts that, I've always kind of been a little bit of the pursuer. And I've always had the mindset of, if I'm in it to win it, and I'm going to invest, I'm going to put in what I want out of it. And maybe that's the concept that a lot of women and men are missing. You're going to get out what you put in. If you put nothing in, then it's a lopside, and then the other person's putting everything in. It's not going to balance out. And there's never going to, ladies, men, it's never going to be balanced. Let's just call a spade a spade.
I think it can be balanced.
I don't think it will ever be truly balanced.
I'm not saying it will be equal, but I'm saying like equity wise. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Like
equity.
it can be
I can get that.
balanced on the fact of maybe I'm putting in 70, you're putting in 30, but we're still getting 100% like of balance. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
maybe
in that sense.
my 100 looks different from your 100, right? My 100 is only 70% of your priorities, and
Mhm.
your 100 is 70% of my priorities. Or let's say I'm getting in 70 and you're giving me 100, but only 50% of what you're giving me is my priorities, and 50% of what I'm giving you is your priority. So again, it can still be balanced
Okay.
even if we're giving different stuff out because of
Okay.
our priorities. That would be.
I agree. I do agree with that one. Then it can be balanced, but in an equitable sense, but not
Mm,
balanced as in we're doing tit for tat, because there are going to be days, and JR, you can probably, agree with this. There are going to be days when I'm not going to be functioning at my normal 70% for whatever reason. So that's when I need you to be a little bit more equitable and put a little bit more in, because you're not always going to function and operate at that same level.
of
Am I
course. No, I agree 100%. I do agree 100% though. But that's the problem with that is how, and this is the problem with relationships, is how long are you going to be performing not at your peak? You know what I'm saying? Like how
right?
long is that going to be for me to take it? Now, a lot of guys, we're not leaving that much, but if I'm performing at a small peak and you think, not a small peak, but if I'm performing less than my peak and you think that's me pulling back or me changing or a whole different person, and then you go and blast that on the internet, like what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like you blasted the worst version of me.
But I
You
got
know
a
what I'm saying?
question. I got a question for you. Did you, we're really big on that C word. Did you communicate? Hey, this is what's going on. Or I'm observing. First of all, ladies, if you put your man on blast, and this goes for if you put your partner on blast, period. I don't care if you're a man or woman. Don't do that. Because if I'm catching you at your lowest moment as your partner, as the person you're committed to, it is my job to pull you, to help aid, to pull you out. What can I do to help you? We are made to be helpmeets,
Yeah,
which
but
means
oh,
but overall, people don't have that concept. So
no,
I'm gonna
I
say that
agree.
they
I agree.
overall, but I feel like they should, because if we're together, we should be in this to win it. I'm not just gonna kick a dog when it's down. You know,
See, but that's the thing. You might not, and I agree with you, but a lot of these women, when a man is down, they're upset. And you can't come to a woman while she's upset and give some type of corrective criticism towards her performance that's making you upset. That's why a lot of these men just be quiet or they don't want to talk about it, because it's like you as a woman, you have to be ready to receive it. And I don't believe a lot of women are ready to receive that type, because it's a form of rejection, if I'm being honest with you. It is.
mm,
And just like G said, a lot of women can't handle rejection very well. So having this form of rejection in the light of like corrective criticism and trying to progress the relationship, a lot of these women, they get upset. They have a huge fuck it in their system that's like, well, fuck it then. Fuck it. Like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? That's the easiest way. If she makes you food and you try to sit there and say it could use a little salt, some women will say, cool. Some women, you'll never get that plate again.
it's about timing, though. I'm gonna say this because
Let's
if
say
you
they
see,
ask,
no, no,
how
no.
do you like it?
What do you mean? How do you like
Let's
it?
say she put the plate down and she asked, how'd you like the food?
Okay, how did she ask you?
She she ate the food. She's already done. You're still eating, and she looks at you and go, "How do you like it?"
Like, is it a how did you like it, or is it how did you like it?
No, it's a happy. How did she actually was
Okay,
satisfied
okay,
with the food? So she wants to know how you like the food.
okay.
And if you say, and a lot of men know this though, if you give a little corrective criticism to the average woman, you know what I'm saying? They probably not gonna make you that food no more. You just got to tell them you like it. But that communication, what I'm saying, it's like for a man, when communicating with a woman, it's almost like your relationship is always in jeopardy. And
See,
that's why a lot of us don't want to.
and I guess I find that hard to fathom, because even the women that I've spoke with, they crave for men to tell them. But it's all about, first of all, if you are a critic in your relationship, so let's say it got blasted on the internet that you're highly critical. He judges every little thing I do and da 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 this. Of course, at that point, If you say you need some little salt, then it's like it makes a woman feel, because women have big egos. We are very sensitive, and I'm not scared to say that. You didn't criticize every little thing I've done, and now you trying to say my damn food salty. You better go in there and get you some Vienna sausages and crackers going forward,
See?
because I'm not going, because you built that up. You see what I'm saying? You've been criticizing me this entire time.
Well,
Now there's a
in that
difference
scenario, yes, I
in
agree.
that scenario. But now if it's just out the blue, be like, normally you gobble up my food, and then you like, well, baby, it could have used a little bit more salt, or I'm my own worst critic. So you gobbling up and you be like, baby, could have used a little bit more salt, or it was too salty. I'm like, all right, great. I know how to do it for next time. But it's, what have you done prior to that that led up to that point? Because a woman, if she's really for you, or your partner is really for you, they're not just gonna up and stop cooking. If that's your role in the house, is I'm the cooker and it's my job or my privilege to feed you, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing it to your liking. But now, if you've built up to a place of nothing I'm doing is right, then it's like, I'm not even going to try no more. And the same thing goes for men. If a woman is constantly criticizing a man, what ends up happening, JR?
We shut down. We shut down and shut off.
Exactly. Exactly. Women or men are so different, but on a fundamental level, we are still the same. Because that,
We are, but y'all, again, we're invested emotionally different. That's why. Like I said, like everything you're saying is absolutely accurate. I agree with everything you're saying. But the only problem is men were like critical problem solvers. You know, we look at solving the problem, women look at getting away from the problem. You know what I'm saying? They look at problem, let me leave. We look at problem, let me fix it. And
see, I
that's
don't
why
say that.
those times, that's why we as men think women will leave in that type of scenario.
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Hmm.
Maybe at one point in time, women would be like, I see a problem, I'm going to leave. But it's, once again, what is the level of the relationship? If I'm invested, I put work into this, I'm not leaving.
You said you
Now,
was not fight or flight. You said you was flight. You said you was flight. You said you
if
had good travel miles and all that.
oh yeah,
Fire miles.
matter of fact, I got some round trip tickets I'm about to cash in. Uh, but no, but if there's trouble, what is the level of the trouble? What is the trouble? Is it just you got a problem with my cooking? Great, then let's go take some cooking classes. You tell me how. Let me watch you do it. You tell me what you like. But if it's in a sense of this man out here cheating on me, hell yeah,
No,
kick
I get
rocks,
what
I'm
you're saying.
gone.
I get what you're saying. And that's why I agree with you so much on this type of topic, is because you're mature enough to understand the difference of these things, right? You're mature enough to understand the importance of togetherness and unity, and something that you put forth and picked to go ahead and keep it to the end. A lot of these people don't do that. Like, the most thing they ever committed to was high school. For a lot of people, they never committed to something long term, and high school, really, they was made to because their parents had to. So really, a lot of people don't understand commitment well. That's why I can agree with you on these things. But again, because I know a lot of people don't understand commitment well, that's why they have these things of men saying, I don't want to speak. And we get bashed for it. But it's like, if I speak, we get bashed. If I don't speak, we get bashed. You know what I'm saying?
How do you
It's like,
win?
yeah, there is no winning as a man in a relationship with a woman who cannot understand your intentions as a man. There's no
Then
winning.
then can I say something?
Hmm.
That's just a bad pick on both parts.
Well, I'm trying to tell you,
It's a
the
bad pick on both parts. It's a bad pick on the man's part in that sense, because once again, we're not dating the same person.
of course,
Because if I'm super sensitive with guy A, let's just say, type, for whatever reason, I may have met guy A when I wasn't mature enough. So it's a bad pick. We're not saying the person is bad, but it's a bad pick. And the bad pick means it's a bad person and or some type of combination of timing.
oh, so you're trying to say date off of your like emotional maturity.
Absolutely.
That's kind of what you're trying to say.
Absolutely. Because when you date outside of your emotional, and I want to say mental maturity,
Hmm.
because to be able to sit down and have a conversation with a man firsthand, I can say you got to be mentally prepared depending on that man. Because A man will try to sweet talk you sometimes, or he'll try to, you got to know that person. So, yeah, you got to date on your level. And I think that's where we have a lot of these mismatches coming into play. And then it goes back to how I'm this way with person A, but I'm this way with person B, because either my mentality has changed, my maturity has changed, or what they put in has changed.
I understand that. I
It's a
do.
it's a puzzle, and life is a big puzzle. Let's just call a spade a spade. For those of us that have changed careers over our lives and or changed locations, changed partners, we're all trying to put together this puzzle called life. You may get a piece, and yeah, you may be the type of person, well, I got this piece, I got some scissors, I'm going to make this piece fit, but it's never going to fit perfectly. Whereas it makes more sense sometimes to put that piece back and go grab another piece. But then also, let's get into the fact of how when you say it's damn if I do, damn if I don't, and why women sometimes just up and leave and men up and leave because they don't understand commitment, like you said. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's a societal thing because we don't force commitment. We don't make people understand what a true commitment is because we have so many options now. Thanks to the internet, thanks to wandering eyes, we have so many options. Like, I kid you not, I used to love getting a variety pack of little boxes of cereal. This
Oh
day I
yeah.
can have Apple Jacks. Tomorrow I can have corn pops, and then maybe on my in-between day, I'll throw in a box of corn flakes. You see what I'm saying? I'm not committed to anything. And that started out young. Now I like 2 boxes of cereal. Don't give me more than that. Even though I see them, I have enough control because I know myself well enough to know what it is that I'm really going to commit to.
Well. Then flip that, and I like that you use that scenario because that's how men think. In reality, it's not. They don't even get. They don't even. They can't even get the variety pack, though. Is what I'm saying. That's how men are. Our options are nowhere like women. Y'all have the time to learn what you like, what you don't like, because y'all are the ones consistently getting approached by men coming towards you. Y'all get that. We have to go out and try to get it, and 9 times out of 10 whatever cereal we're looking for is going to reject us. So now we have to get the money, do all this stuff because y'all can just get it handed. We have to work for that cereal. And then when we be able to get the variety pack, at that time, every piece box of cereal is like, no, commit to me, commit to me, commit to me. And it's like, yo, I just got here. I just was able to get this pack.
I
I did
get
a
it.
lot of work to get here.
I get
Y'all
it.
are pressuring me to commit to one cereal. I haven't tried these yet or these yet. And that's how us men think. The older we get and the more mature we get, because mind you, man mature 30 to 35, women mature from the ages of 22 to 27. So it's
Yeah.
like it's a totally different type of aspect. So when women are 30 years old, 35, they're trying to date a man who's just now becoming mature. Like he's trying to get the variety pack and they're trying to figure out what's wrong with us. And it's like, yo, y'all do not we understand women. Women don't understand us. We have to. Well, not all women. Women start to understand us after they've been around us long enough and
Yeah.
understand. But like a lot, like the women that are on the internet and complaining, these 20 to 31-year-olds, they do not understand us. And they don't even try to, but they have the audacity to blast us. And that's the part that's
You
like
just
weird.
said the key word. They don't try to, because I feel like this, and JR, you're a man. I feel like men are the most simplest creatures they are.
Oh yeah.
I really feel that way. And it took me a while to get to this place. Your needs are so basic.
Oh yes.
Your needs are so basic as a man. And you just said the key word. They're not trying to. If you understand those basic needs, and I feel like all men, majority of men, because there may be a few out there, I feel like majority of men have a basic level of needs that if they are being met, then they are good. And of course, you can add little things here or there, but you don't vocalize those needs. I'm 41 years old. It took me the greater part of 30 years and multiple relationships, 2 marriages, 1 baby daddy, to understand what those needs are, because you know why? No one ever told me. And because I don't even think men understand their base level.
Well, they do, but they're too. Again, the societal pressure is like, no, you being a man is literally the a devil. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you prioritize, and I get it as women. I get it. But sadly, this is just a double standard that just benefits men. You know, that's it, is that we are looked at from our pursuers as women. I mean, y'all don't pursue us in relationship wise at the beginning, but y'all do want a man a lot of the time. We're looked at as so much more. We're looked at as a provider. We're looked at as a best friend. We're looked at as a secure. We looked at, we have all these different aspects of us that women like. And the down part about women, which is still a good part, but is down, is that men don't care about that much stuff. We don't care about jobs and your money, and we don't care about that, this, that, and we really just want something. But I'm just saying, like y'all have the benefit to not need the burdens of performance. You have the benefit to not have a burdens of performance, but it's also not a good thing, because a lot of you women look at your value as like equivalent to a man's value, because a man has to do so much. So if a woman does so much, she wants the same respect. But sad part is, sorry, you can get the respect, but that doesn't mean you get the liked. As a man, we get the respect. That means they like us. Does that make sense?
Kind of, sort of. But you said something, and G, chime in on this. You said that we don't have the burden of performance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to disagree, because performance may not be an actual action, but men do have a certain expectations of performance from a woman. And when I say that, I'm talking about how we look, how we talk, how we dress. You said out of your own mouth, you like your woman to be feminine.
Yeah.
That is a level of performance. That is a level of effort that has to be put into make that happen. Women are not just naturally 100% these ultra. When I say ultra, I mean, I'm talking about, I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is go wash my face, take a shower, and put on a face of makeup. Or I make sure that I'm walking in those feminine qualities that you may be seeking for. So there is a burden of performance, because if we don't do what you want us to do, guess what? You're leaving. You're gone.
Well, I'm talking about the burdens part, though. Really, is that even if you didn't, we're probably really not gone. Men are gonna stay if you come to
But
the
you'll
relationship
cheat.
wearing makeup. Well, that's regardless, though. I don't think that has anything
They'll
to do with a
cheat
woman's
whether you're
performance.
doing
Yeah,
what you're supposed to do or not. They're gonna
yeah, we
cheat either
cheating
way.
regardless.
That's
That's not
crazy.
nothing to do with that. But and the burdens I'm talking about, as a man, you have to do. You have to do. If a woman stops cooking, like, the man's not really leaving. He's not really leaving. He might be
No.
upset. He might pull back, but he's not leaving.
Hold on,
But
let
With
me
it's
ask
you.
my man if he gonna
with
leave me if I stop cooking.
probably, maybe not, but I do think that feeds into the overall idea, is that a lot of women will assume that a man is going to be the same way forevermore, and it's really about him finding a woman that makes all of these responsibilities and these requirements that we have for men that naturally they want to do anyways, but it helps make it easier
Worth
for
it.
them to do.
Mhm. Yeah,
You
that
have
too.
to create a safe space for your, and I think a lot of women take it as like a hit to their ego if they weren't able to bring out that side of a man. But we have to stop taking it so personal, because if you were supposed to be that woman for everybody, well, then you would be for everybody, but you're not. It is a rarity to find someone that you really bond with, that you can really be committed to, and withstand the test of time and all of the trials and tribulations that come with it. And that's why it's so important to find your match. And sometimes, ladies, you just gonna have to take that L. She's making it easier for him. It's not that personal. They're just a better match, or it's a timing thing. And you gotta give that man grace.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
I
For real.
like knowing, like, if they
I
put I like the fact that they put men on blast. I want to know. And it's not going to change
I
how I
don't.
put it like this. I can tell you, I've had two relationships where my significant other was blasted, and everything that they said was going to happen, none of it happened. But I like reading books. I like reading, and to me,
She messy. She like, tell me how he fucked you over so I can tell you how he not doing the same thing
That's
to me.
exactly what I
That's
heard.
what it
I
is.
like reading. I
Flex.
like reading books. It is a huge flex. You know why? Because to me, I feel like I'm a good woman. Because you got dogged out. We are not the same. You over there and you're a box of Cheerios and I'm cinnamon toast crunch.
Cinnamon
You
But
toast
see,
crunch
know,
is so
but
good.
okay. And then this
you
is
need to
why
go.
I will
You
say
need to
this.
go. You need to go find a man that likes your Cheerios.
Oh, that's
If
a whole.
I if it is, gee, you have to agree to that. It's not about being messy. I'd like to know the past. If you think about what's the one faux pas that we do that we're not supposed to do, that's talk about our past. I'm okay with hearing about your past because it's not going to change how I view you.
Facts.
It's not.
Facts.
It's not.
For a
It
Now,
woman, this
shouldn't,
doesn't at
but
all.
sometimes I mean sometimes it does. But I will say this. I feel like
Yeah, I mean, if he was
with
getting finger popped in the bathroom by men, then yeah.
oh my
But
God, no, we're not
whoa,
even stop it.
whoa.
But
no, I'm
okay,
saying, what about a man's past would change if you tell? Let's say I make $200,000 a year, but like, and
I would
I'm in the gym, I'm very protective, I'm very mature. But in my past, I was homeless 2 years ago,
that's
and not also
different.
was I
That's
homeless, I
different.
was a gambler, and not also as a gambler, I was a sex addict and I was alcoholic. Do you
See,
really
those would be the
think?
two. Those would be the two. It might not
I'm
deter me
saying,
completely, but if
mhm.
my future, if I'm dating you and you tell me you have dealt with a sex addiction and you have dealt with alcoholism, that might deter me from trying to that's a
Yeah, but I'm saying right now, I'm 3 years sober. I'm only in a committed relationship. I literally work whatever it may be. I'm great and mature at securing you in the relationship. Do you really care my past is gonna like at
it's
all?
probably no, and I but
I do.
it's levels.
I
But I
do.
will say this,
I
I
do
would
though.
rather
Hmm.
find out from the man that I'm talking to, like if my man, I want him to feel safe enough to come to me and be like, I made mistakes. This is what's happened. This is my past. I'm not interested in hearing it from the lens of someone who hasn't lived your life, but experienced you during a time of you not being at your best self. That's a
But I
warped perception. And although it's a valid one, it's a warped one. So I if I'm trying to look at you moving forward, I don't need to dwell on the past. And then that speaks to women if you're trying to get over anything. It's very important to live in the moment. Don't stress too much about the future. Don't stress too much about the past. You kind of have to live in the moment and watch that person show up every day and then make your decision off of that.
but you just said something. You don't dwell on it, but it is still good knowledge.
It
Those type of
absolutely you
things.
need it, the knowledge for sure.
And that's how I look at it. I look at it from a knowledge point. So, oh yeah, girl. So, well, he did what to you? He didn't spend what on you had to pay for every. Oh, you okay? I treat those kind of things to me. A man is like a pill bottle. You know, in a pill bottle,
Okay.
they have all those warning labels and all those side effects and stuff. That pill that I take may treat my body different than it do yours. These are all possibilities. So I'm treating it as a warning of things of what to look out for, but I'm going to live in the moment and prepare for the future, but have the knowledge of the past.
I agree
I
with that. So we've talked a lot about all the different facets that come into, your dating history, how you were before, transitioning into who you are now. And I think we can all kind of agree that we should give each other a little bit more grace and that there is room for change. You're not always going to be the same person, and each relationship is a new chance at showing a different side of yourself and giving love another try. JR, what are your lasting thoughts? And Shelly just gave her lasting thoughts. What are your lasting thoughts for today's episode?
um, you already know my lasting thoughts are always going to be the same. That I love the people out there. Uh, I just love in general, and I love when women learn more about men. And in this aspect of like getting blasted, I support women learning more about men. And as a man, for you to get blasted, I think that shows a fault in your character to be able to even get blasted like that. That's a fault. Um, If you don't want the world to see it, then maybe you shouldn't do it at all, regardless if it's behind closed doors. So that's kind of my big thing, take pride in what you do, mean what you say. And that's just being part of like being a man, stand on that. So
I agree.
I'm with
I
it.
agree. I guess my lasting thoughts is be careful who you consider a friend or a source for information. Ladies and fellas, anybody on the internet, and you guys are publicly doxing people whose lives that they want to live in peace. You have no idea what their personal situation are. You are recording people. You're taking pictures of screenshots of text messages. You're find this man's wife because he was flirting with a bitch at the Applebee's bar. Y'all really need to focus on yourself and what's going on, because I guarantee you, if you step in front of that mirror, you're going to see a lot more that you need to worry about than what that person, that complete stranger, had going on in their life. And you have no idea the ramifications that can come from that. So y'all women, you think you're doing them a service, you're doing a disservice, and you need to start working on yourselves. So that way, the next time you are presented with an opportunity for love, you can really give it your best effort. And you can't do that when you're worried about other people's bullshit. And that's just me being real. All right. And I love y'all. And I like this. I like doing it with no makeup. I like the snuggie, JR. I like having y'all back. All right.
You know what I'm
Y'all be
saying? Nigga
careful.
feeling warm.
Be careful out there. And if anybody tells you that you are dating the same person as them, you probably aren't. So keep it up. Best sauce and blessings, and have a good night.
Good night.
Bye, bitches.